everybody, welcome to Excel video 420. I'm Nate Moore. This is an exhibit from my new book, Better Data, Better Decisions Using Business Intelligence in a Medical Practice. And one of the big things in the early chapters is how to use Excel pivot tables to analyze a bunch of different things in a medical practice. So here's exhibit 2.2 that's a comprehensive example looking across multiple pivot tables, and here's a bunch of different ways to drill down and really get to the bottom of what's going on in a pivot table. When you're ready to really understand pivot tables and how they might help you understand your practice data, pick up the book Better Data, Better Decisions from MGMA. I want to show you a shortcut to help in the editing and a shortcut to select what Excel calls a current region. If you've got data that might grow over time, as you might add physicians or as you might add months and look at a longer date range, rather than trying to write some kind of macro code that can look at how far it goes down and right and whatever as this expands, what you can do is use this current region object. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. My problem is that I've got all this code that we wrote up here that works on the active sheet, and if I try to do this on this active sheet, I'm going to make a mess. What you can do a line at a time is you could come here, and if you put an apostrophe or a single quote, that comments out a row. That gets old really fast. What you can do is right-click up here in this toolbar. We're going to customize, and we're going to add 4 things. To be honest with you, I write most of my code in SQL Server Management Studio. That's most of what I do. I write way more code there than I do in the Visual Basic Editor. What I have in SQL Server that I don't have in the Visual Basic Editor by default are 4 keys, and I'm going to show you in the Edit menu what these little buttons look like. There's 4 things I want. I want indent, and so I'm going to drag that here, an outdent. I'll explain that in a minute. Comment block, and uncomment block. By putting that there, what I can do, let's grab a bunch of, down to there, let's say, and this will comment, and see how it added the single quote all the way across, so I didn't have to go down line by line. Let's just pick this piece of it and uncomment and comment. See how I can quickly comment out a bunch of code or uncomment it so I can test? Real handy shortcut. Let me just pick a different range here. This is what indent does, and this is what outdent does. So if you've got a loop or a piece of your code that needs to run here and then jump to the next step, and you want to make it really easy to understand what's what, indent and outdent can help you. So there's our 2 shortcuts, commenting out in mass and uncommenting, and indent and outdent. Let's go back down now that we've fixed that, and let's work on current region. We've got a with and an end with like we had last time, and to be honest, I don't want to get real worked up about all these little things that we're going to do here. What we're going to do is we're going to shade the current region of this spreadsheet. And the way I got this code is I just recorded some keystrokes to figure out if I shade this, what does Excel do? And Excel wrote all this for me. It made it easy for me. The key to this whole thing is worksheets, range, and I've got a range that's inside my block. So if you're familiar with Excel building tables and pivot table data and things like that, if you click inside a block, Excel's pretty good at finding clean margins, the first blank column, the first blank row, and that's what current region does. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to say start in cell A3 and go to the right and down and up until you find that you've got blank data. And here's what I'm going to do. When I find that, I'm going to define it as current region, and in the interior, I'm going to shade it. And that's all this thing does. So when I click here and run it, Excel goes to the current region of cell A3 on this tab. So there's the current region from cell A3. I started here, and notice how it went up, it went over. It found all the cells where I had data and shaded them for me. Had I added 6 more months or 2 more doctors, current region gets all of it. So that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to show you about these shortcuts, and I wanted to introduce current region. If your data changes every month or all the time, it's really handy to use current region to select the data to work with in your macro. That's what I wanted to cover today. Stay tuned next time. We're going to talk about working with tables. I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching.